Hey everybody, wanted to bring you a quick devotional thought for your Tuesday. This was something that kind of came across in my own readings this week, and it was something I wanted to kind of share with you. Comes from 1 Corinthians 5, and we're reading 6 through about 8. Your boasting about this is terrible. Don't you realize that this sin is like a little yeast that spreads through the whole batch of dough? Get rid of the old yeast by removing this wicked person from among you. Then you will be like a fresh batch of dough made without yeast, which is what you really are. Christ, our Passover lamb, has been sacrificed for us. So let us celebrate the festival not with the old bread of wickedness and evil, but with the new bread of sincerity and truth. This is a passage that Paul wrote to the Corinthians about a member of their church that they were very proud of having in their church, but he was living a outwardly sinful life and boasting about it and talking about how he was a part of this church and living this really horrible life. And they were so proud to have this sinner among them, thinking they were doing the right thing. As I continually go through more and more things that I get to read, I get to watch, other pastors, other things, I realize that there's a lot of stuff in our life right now that we have to decide what's most important. And those really important things are the things that we need to gravitate towards. And those things that aren't, or those things that we have in our life that we think are so special that maybe don't glorify God the way that we would hope they would, it's time for us to cut out that yeast. It reminds me of the passage that Jesus said when he says, if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out, or your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. Jesus never once actually wanted us to do those things, cut off your hands or your eyes. But it was the message he was trying to tell us, that it's better to have loss as long as you're living for God. And again, as you think about what's really important right now and you really focus on the things that matter most to you, are those things glorifying God? And when life goes back to normal and you start picking up all those other things that are back in your regular life, how many of those things are glorifying God? Maybe this is a time that you can take to cut off that hand, cut out that yeast, take those bad things out of your life. Because if they're not glorifying God, what's the point of having them? That's the message that Paul's trying to tell the Corinthians here, and it's a message that Jesus brings to us as well. It doesn't matter what the purpose is for what you're doing it, or any of the good things that come from it. If it's not glorifying God in its very purpose, then there's no point in having it. So that's your devotional thought for today. A quick thing for you on this Tuesday afternoon. Again, I'm always available for you guys. If you need anything, let me know. I'll be happy to get a hold of any of you, make some calls, meet with anybody I can. Next few days we're going to be shut in, so I can't meet with you face to face, but I'd love to have some calls if anybody needs it. In the meantime, continue living your life for Christ. Share the messages that we have on here. No matter where you are or what you're doing, make sure you continually use this time to be focused on Christ. Thank you guys. I look forward to seeing you again.